we got sprites, we got stat lines, we got Gen 10 and Pokemon Legends ZA leaks, all in this massive Pokemon leak that just happened a few days ago. I think over a terabyte of data was estimated to be spun out into the world with this leak. So we're going to go over most of it. And I say most of it because there's some stuff I'm not going to go over. And there's some stuff we shouldn't go over. And there's some stuff that's still probably going to leak in the next few days. And I just don't want to milk this. So unless something huge comes out, this is my one and only video about these leaks. We're not going to do anything on Gen 10 or ZA until the end of the video because I want to leave the actual leaks and big spoilers at the end, so that way people who don't want to know info about that can click off of the video at that point. So if that's all you're interested though, look at the timestamps below. I'm gonna have all this info timestamped out, and yeah, you can click down there and go to each part of the video, whichever you're interested in. And yeah, let's just dive into it. Go ahead and get started. So first thing I want to talk about is sprites. There have been some Gen 3 sprites that leaked. There's also been some really odd sprite leaks that have happened. And by that, I mean there's some really weird discarded Pokemon that never came to fruition. Like these guys, like these guys, like these guys. I don't even know what we are doing here. This is just concept art, but they're discarded Pokemon that never came to be. There's this muffin dude, I guess, rock dudes. This one's pretty bad. This is peak in my opinion. This one's pretty cool, I cannot lie. And then we got these winter dogs, and I feel like these are Lycanrocs. These are very, very, very primitive versions of Lycanrocs, but in the Gen 1 style. This is really cool. I would have killed to see something like this in the game. But yeah, just some weird sprite leaks. And there's also some Gen 3 sprites leaked. I actually don't have it pulled up, but give me 1 second. So here's your Gen 3 sprite leaks. You can see that some of them have retained form pretty well, and some of the others haven't. Like Grovyle, for example, down here is pretty much Grovyle, still just different color scheme. The Laddie twins are pretty much band for band. Mr. Zig is still Mr. Zig. Flygon is weird. Flygon's really weird because you can see Trey Pinches up here. So they originally had the Flygon line start out a whole lot differently, which is just really bizarre in my opinion. You got Swablu right here with the blue lips. You got Pelicanetic right here, who looked like he was wearing a Crips mask. I'm sorry if I don't know if that's actually a Crips mask or not. Don't cancel me. We got Claydol here. And then we got a Bonsley looking dude. This line never came out, I don't think. Got Lombre, Wailmer, Kecleon, Azuril. Those pretty much all look band for band. This is a really primitive version of Masquerain. That one's crazy to me. Ninjaskin, Shedinja, Lotad, Spinda. You guys get the point. They're basically just very primitive versions of these Pokemon for the Gen 3. So pretty cool that these leaked. This is the kind of stuff I like seeing, even though it's not very relevant to today. But this is cool stuff that'll get talked about for a while, I think, about what could have been, what is what we got now, how it lines up with what they did originally, stuff like that. So I think this is a pretty cool part of the leaks, getting to see these very old gen sprites. And speaking of old gen sprites, we got the C6 Flight Sexy Pilot, who we all know is now Skyla. So this is how they originally gave the info for what Skyla should be like. And they basically said that it was gonna be an Isabella Fontana or Jennifer Lopez looking chick, which is really hilarious in my opinion. This is really funny to me. 18 years old, so it's all good. We can objectify it. I'm kidding. Don't take that seriously. Do not take that seriously. Do not objectify women, chat. All right. But then we got Clay, who's we got Clay info. He's a 55-year-old businessman, Japanese. We got Lenora, who I think was originally the mammy stereotype. I don't know if the word mammy itself is offensive, so I apologize. but that's what I've seen people describing it on Twitter, that what she originally was, which I can see where they're going with that. They changed it a little bit though, but they had her model based off Beyonce, which is pretty freaking cool. I mean, her name was literally Big Mama, so yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like the mammy stereotype, respectfully. And then we got like Ceylon, Crest, and Chill, which is the 3 water boys. They're all British. We got Berg, who is based off Johnny Depp, which is pretty epic. We got Drayden, which this is a star-studded lineup for people you could be modeled after, dude. Like, that's crazy. Like, goddamn, Giga Chad right here. We got Iris. Iris is apparently 11 years old. So all you horny bitches better calm down. And then I know that won't stop any of you, though. You know, we just got... Oh, that's actually it. Professor Rome from Gen 4, and then Brendan and May. I don't even know who Brendan and May is, dude. It's been too long since I played this. I just realized top comment too was saying Latina, the chest is yo, this meme, this is totally off topic, but this meme oh my god, I love Pokemon Twitter sometimes, man. It's so good. But on top of this like description of the original Skyla, we actually do have some beta sprites of beta Skyla, and that isn't the only beta sprite that we have. We also got beta Sharon, we got beta Lisa, goddamn, Miss Legs, woo, and then yeah, these are the 8-bit versions. Bianca pretty much looks band for band the same thing, except her bag is clipping through her chest, which is a bit bizarre, but you know what it is. And this is, for reference, this is the Skyla we ended up getting, which I still think is pretty based. But yeah, that's can I enhance, please? Okay, there we go. Enhance. All right, this is the Skyla we ended up getting. So just for y'all's viewing pleasure, don't take that too seriously. All right, next up. Oh, there's all my search results. Alrighty. So next up, I want to talk about some scrap stats and ability for Gen 6 Pokemon, because these leaked on the Stunfix subreddit. Shout out to Stunfix. Got to be one of my favorite genders, aka Reddits of all time. But basically, we just got some scrapped stats and abilities for Gen 6 Pokemon, which personally is probably not the biggest deal to a lot of you, but it's kind of interesting to look at, especially given the state of how they min-max stats in today's metagame, I feel. So, originally Talonflame had 103 attack, which I believe is, yeah, it says it right here. It's 22 more than it originally had, which really would have helped it, in my opinion, with Flare Blitz and Brave Bird. Oh my god, Spam and Brave Bird would have just been so broken, dude, if this Talonflame existed. Like, that would have been incredible. It would have been fun, but incredible. Mega Garchomp originally had plus 20 speed at the cost of 20 of the points they had put it in its special attack, which would have been a net plus 10 because it did lose 10 speed when it Mega Evolves now. So it would have been plus 10 speed, which I think is interesting. They originally weren't going to make it slow, but they ended up, in fact, making it slow. But also giving it some special attack, which I won't lie, giving it the special attack is helpful for like Fire Blast for hitting like Corviknight, which I mean that's never a scenario in the cartridge games, but like I guess for hitting Skarmory though, yeah, Skarmory is definitely a real thing, like hitting Fire Blast on Skarmory. So I still think putting it in special attack was useful, but interesting that they were originally considering putting that, making Mega Garchomp faster than regular Garchomp. Mega Gyarados had plus 10 attack and Strong Jaw, which Strong Jaw would have been insane on this thing. Would have loved to see that, to be honest. Mega Scizor had plus 20 attack with minus 10 to each defense, which I think would have taken a lot away from Mega Scizor, because I do think Mega Scizor is pretty prominent in its bulk, and that's a key part of its profile. But yeah, would have been interesting. I think the Latios twins are the most interesting though. Mega Latios had plus 20 speed with minus 20 to its attack, while Mega Latias had plus 20 speed at the cost of minus 10 to defense and speed up. See, me personally, the Latias one makes a little less sense because Latias is supposed to be the defensive one, so having more defense and speed up on Latias makes sense. The Mega Latios one, this one confused me a little bit why they didn't end up going with it, because Latios is not a physical attacker at all. So I feel like this would have really made it a bigger difference, like separated it from its regular form a lot more. But the Mega Twins aren't actually that overpowered, so maybe it accomplished what they wanted to. Mega Blaziken had Moxie. Now this is a really interesting one. I know I said that about like 5 of them, but the fact that there could have been a world where you speed boost and then go into Mega form to boost your attack with Moxie, kind of like Sharpedo does. Would have been really cool to see. I think speed boost on Mega Blaziken makes more sense, but I think this would have been a really cool interaction to see. Mega Charizard Y had Gale Wings. Not sure why. I'm glad they got rid of this one. I think Drought on it makes a lot more sense. Aegislash had plus 20 HP. Folks, this thing is already broken. Imagine if this thing had an extra 20 HP, making its defensive that much further annoying. That would have been insane. And then Tyrantrum had plus 20 attack with minus 10 to defense and special attack, which I think they should have gone with this one too, but it is what it is. And then we got a Mega form. A Mega Jinx was originally in the works, but they got rid of it, so no longer a thing. It was going to have Magikarp as ability, which is pretty cool. Its stats are really reminiscent to me of Fluttermane. Obviously, I think Ice Psychic is a much worse defensive typing than Ghost Fairy. And it's a slightly weaker offensive typing as well, I'd say. The Magikarp ability would have been sick, though, because that means it wouldn't have taken hazards on switch-in, which an Ice type that's not taking hazards is really awesome, which, yeah, I would have loved to have tried this thing out. I think this would have been a fun Mega to use. So it's a little unfortunate that it never came to be, but it is what it is. Apparently, you can use it in battle in the X and Y beta, which the X and Y beta is a thing, and that also has had a ton of leaks with it. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish there was a world where we could use it on Showdown, but that's never going to happen. So, next up, the next leak I want to talk about, there's some stories, folks. Now, some people are calling them fables. Some people are calling them the actuality of what happened. Now, I think they're fables. I would say they're like Bible stories. Like, they're supposed to be lessons, but they never really happen. I can't say that about the Bible, though, because I'm a Christian. But that's what I've heard people comparing them to, as like Bible stories that are just like supposed to be lessons for the children, basically. So, I'm not sure how well y'all are going to be able to see this because it is pretty tiny text. I can't even zoom in on this. Hold on. I'm going to try something. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Maybe you guys can see it now. So, the biggest stories that you all should know about already is Slack Off, Octillery, Typhlosion. All 3 of them are like horny jail offenses that they were ever written, to be honest, but it is what it is. I was actually talking to my boy Iz about Slack Off, and then he eventually read the Typhlosion one because I told him Typhlosion is a pedophile, which we'll get into in a second. But basically, the Slack Off story, this is the only one I've actually read through because I don't even want to hear about Typhlosion being a pedophile, but there's some interesting backstory with that, and I'll get to that in a minute too. But the Slack Off one's really interesting because it's like, it makes perfect sense to me. Basically, there were some girls that like captured Slack Off and tortured them. And then, but one day, I guess they were older, sorry. I apologize. It was not a girl, it was a woman. So that's good to know, actually, because I definitely thought it was a girl who got raped. Can I say rape? I don't know. But, that got, assaulted, in the story, but it's actually a woman. So that makes it slightly better, I guess. But basically, the Slack Off got revenge on one of the women, and they brought her into like a grotto, and apparently there was like Slack Off hanging from the tree, corpses, like really bizarre stuff. But basically, she ended up having a kid, a Slack Off baby, and then her friends like found the Slack Off there, and they did what they always do, and they like tormented it and killed it. And then she ended up killing herself out of sorrow. And so the other women began to treat Slack Off as companions. So it's like a lesson in like, I don't know. It's a lesson in cruelty, I guess, and like treat others the way you want to be treated. I don't know. I'm trying to like wrap my head around what the lesson is. Like the story makes sense to me as like a lesson, but I can't think of like what the lesson should be called. But yeah, there's some other stories. This is the Octillery one, and I'll link this specific thread down in the comments below because I know these are hard to read. Also, I will link TERALEAK in the description below because TERALEAK is where I got most of this stuff from. So I have to give a shout out to them because obviously I wouldn't be making this video without the account. So yeah. But I'm not going to read that one, but there's an Octillery story. I believe the Octillery is horny, same kind of thing. Typhlosion one, the Typhlosion one. Oh, wow. Fucking wow. Sorry, I ain't reading all that. But basically, the Typhlosion one's really interesting because there's I don't know if y'all watch Lessons in Meme Culture, but he did an investigation, and that Typhlosion is based off the Japanese badger, and its yokai form is like able to like shapeshift and trick. And so basically they're saying Typhlosion is like the yokai of the Pokemon world and like tricking. The whole thing is that he tricked the little girl. So yeah, that's all I got. So those are the stories. That's all for this section. And now we're going to get into, okay, unpausing. Now we're going to get into the official origin of the Pokemon universe. So for the lore addicts out there, this one is really interesting for that. Because this is the official origin of the Pokemon universe, which took place in Gen 4, which most of us could have guessed that. But yeah, the official origin of the Pokemon universe. And honestly, it's pretty similar to what most people would describe as like how Pokemon came to be. It's a really interesting story though. The biggest thing though is that there is a nice little diagram right here basically describing all of it. And I think the most interesting part of it though is that the pseudo legends are on a Axios, which is like Metagross and Gyarados. Gyarados is being on the here is kind of a weird one, but because it's not a pseudo, but T-Tar's there, Dragonite's there. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'll link this story down below too, because again, I ain't reading all that, but apparently this is dated back to 2005. So that's interesting, I guess, because that was before the Gen 4 games were released. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much pretty similar to what most people would describe as a diagram. Like if you ask most Pokemon fans like what their idea of how the Pokemon like universe is separated, like this one's pretty accurate. I think the most interesting thing though is that there's the humans in Pokemon were like created at the same time, and they were created like as equals, like they were just separate, which I think is the most interesting part. Let me see if I can find that part. I'm trying to find this part of the story because I do think this part is the most interesting. Maybe it's towards the end actually. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, here we go. So the children of God who resembled the great father Aya would be called Pokemon, and the children of God who resembled the great mother Ea were called humans. And Ea is Palkia, while Aya is Dialga. So Palkia, shout out to Palkia for creating humans. Go humans. And then Aya is for Dialga, who created the Pokemon, which also shout out to Dialga for giving us the Pokemon. So that way I can play competitive Pokemon and have 1,000 subscribers. Very cool. Thank you, Dialga. So that's it. That's the origin of Pokemon stories. So now we're going to get into the juicy stuff, which is the anime leaks and therefore the new Gen 10 leaks and the Pokemon ZA leaks. So at this is spoilers. Spoiler alert. If you do not want anything spoiled, do not continue watching this video. And thank you for watching up to this point. But do not watch the rest of the video. All right, I'm going to go into them now. You have been thoroughly warned. I put a gigantic freaking thing on the screen, so no one cancel me. All right, thank you. I'm glad we got that out of the way. So now let's talk about it. spoilers about Gaia's, which apparently Gen 10's setting. So, from my understanding, it's a rat. Wow, I cannot think of the word. It's like an archipelago. Archipelago. I don't know how to do. Hold on. It's this. It's an archipelago. I think I pronounced it right that time. It's basically a bunch of tiny islands that are all together. I don't know if it's actually gonna be Greece or not, but this is the best like way I can describe it. That this is basically what it's going to be. So yeah, there's some conversations. I think the most interesting thing is the way this is all leaked is because of conversations between the producers of the anime and Game Freak, which I think is really hilarious because of course the anime needs to know what they're like, you know, creating and shit. So it makes perfect sense. It's just really funny to me that that's how it happens. But here's some more info. Here's another conversation specifically about Zygarde. Apparently I don't understand why they're talking about Titan here. That I haven't read into that too much, I guess, but yeah, you can clearly see right here, introduce Mega Zygarde or something similar later. So yeah, there's a Mega Zygarde on the way, which is pretty incredible. It's definitely gonna be like HE. They're like, it's like no way they're gonna allow that shit in OU, and definitely not Ubers either. But yeah, they keep talking about this like Titan, like the synergy with Titan is lacking, which I don't really know what that means, but maybe I don't need to TBH. But yeah, this is basically all the confirmation about Zygarde in the new anime movie, which apparently there's a new anime movie on the way, and then yeah, that's, and then Mega form basically. So a summary. Also in this summary, Mega Zeraora, which is gonna be so freaking cool, because Zeraora is such a cool Pokemon already, and it's gonna have a Mega form, which is just gonna be incredible. Again, that was leaked because of the anime discussion, which is hilarious. And apparently, Code Gaia is gonna be in development. Apparently, there's a Switch 2 coming out, which probably most people know, but I'm just very stupid and behind on the times. But there's apparently going to be a version for the Switch 1, which is good, because that means I don't have to buy a new Switch. Yay! All right. Some other things. Again, yeah, I don't know what Pokemon Synapse is, but it's not an MMO, which is pretty interesting. TV and film. If you're interested in the TV and film, Great Detective Pikachu might have been canned. We don't know. We may never truly know. There's a new anime coming out. Movie 24, like I said, which apparently it's been in development hell for a while, and it's apparently just on Gen 1, which is going to be pretty epic. And then Project Discovery, no idea about that. But apparently there should be another one, because they're clearly having discussion about Mega Zygarde and Mega Zeraora. So there should be another one coming out as well. So yeah, I think that's all I got for you folks. That's all the leaks I have. I'm gonna get my take on it though real quick, because I do think it's important to talk about it. I think leaks like this are huge. It freaking sucks if you're Game Freak. It is so horrible that everything you have on your hard drive is just suddenly out in the wild, because then you have people like these Fable stories. I don't think anyone's taking them too seriously, but they could damage the reputation of the company for stories that were never even released, but they didn't want to like delete them, because no one wants to fully delete shit, you know? So yeah, stuff like that getting leaked, it sucks. It sucks for the company. It sucks for the people who are working on them, who assume that they had confidentiality that would never go in the wild. But, you know, on the flip side, maybe it's good for the ones who, you know, they made this stuff and they never could like publicly come out with it. Like, for example, the people who did the Gen 3 art, like maybe the people behind this like wanted to be able to show it off, but were never able to because Pokemon canned it. But now they can, because it is out there as public knowledge now. So I think that's the flip side of what this info getting out is. Obviously, the info about the employees is not cool, and I'm actually impressed that none of it has come out yet, that the leakers are not actually like putting that info into the wild. I think there's some major props to be done there, that they are keeping the confidentiality stuff confidential, like the really, really, really like doxing level shit, which I also think will help them in the legal case that Nintendo tries to pursue these guys and sue them to fucking hell, which is very possible because we know Nintendo likes their litigation shit. So I think it's good. I do think it's good that they're at least being respectful of the people like at Game Freak and not releasing like their address and what their like full name, legal name is and all that shit. I do have to get some props to them for that. But I do think leaks like this are cool. They're good to look at. And obviously, you know, I've seen some people say like, oh, well, some of it might not be true. And you're right. You have to take all this with a grain of salt. But I do think for the most part, it's cool when this stuff happens because there's so much cool shit that is just never released sometimes. And now it's here. Now we get to see it. Now we get to look at some stuff through like we get to look at this stuff, you know? Like we would never gotten to look at this stuff unless it was leaked like this, which again sucks for the Pokemon company, but again, good for the community that we get to see this stuff. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think down below. What are your thoughts on all this leak stuff in the comments down below? Let me know. Do we wish Mega Jinx was a real thing? What do we think of the old, like the very first sprites that were freaky that I said at the very beginning of the video? What theories do we have for the new generation of games now that we have some info about them? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Oh, also, everyone comment Typhlosion is a pedophile. Actually, you might get banned if you do that. I'm not sure if you will or not. Okay, that's all I got. See you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.